Dear students, I am Dr. Vivek Pandey and today we are discussing hardness of water. But before we start the topic, let us discuss some important aspects of water. Water is represented by a molecule H2O, which is a polar molecule, and because of this polarity, hydrogen bonding is there between the H2O molecules, and it is because of the hydrogen bonding this H2O water is in liquid state at room temperature, and it is very useful for the mankind. We all know that water is an colorless, tasteless, odorless and transparent chemical substance which is the main constituent of Earth's hydrosphere. It exists in solid, liquid and gaseous forms as ice, water, vapor, and in all the forms it is very useful for the mankind. We all know that our planet is called a blue planet because almost 71% of its total surface is covered with water, but 97% of available water on the planet is an ocean or sea water, which is almost useless and cannot be used for mankind. So we left with only 2.5% of water as a fresh water, and most of that water is in the form of ice and groundwater. The water is very vital for the survival of all forms of life on the planet, and it is also very useful for the agricultural purposes. We can say that water is also very useful engineering material because water in the form of steam is used to generate power, and it also used to run various processes of the process industries. It is also being used as universal solvent in various chemical processing units. The pure form of the water is supposed to be a rainwater, as rain water involves the evaporation of water from the Earth's surface during the summers, followed by condensation and precipitation as rain. The rainwater or melted snow flows down the slope over the Earth's surface, and due to the hydrolysis of hydration reactions of water get polluted, and the impurities are added into the water as dissolved salts and makes the water a hard water. This can be explained by following reactions. Suppose rainwater or the melted snow water, when it flows down the slope over the Earth's surface before it meets with the ocean or sea, if it comes in contact with an area which is rich in limestone, CaCO3, then in first reaction, if water is pure, there will be no reaction. But if the carbon dioxide is dissolved in H2O as a dissolved gas and comes in contact with limestone, then there is a hydrolysis reaction. This insoluble calcium carbonate is converted into soluble calcium bicarbonate, thereby making a water a hard. To explain the hardness of water, we can say that hard water is a water that has high content of dissolved minerals and is formed when water percolates through deposits of limestone, chalk, gypsum, and other minerals. Hardness in water is imparted by the presence of soluble salts of calcium, magnesium, iron, aluminium, manganese in the form of chlorides, sulfates, bicarbonates. However, the major contribution of hardness is by calcium and magnesium ions, while iron, aluminium, manganese contributes the hardness at a trace level. To define the hardness, we can explain it by using the practical phenomena that we all know that when water is mixed with soap, then we get a lather. And when water is hard, we get the lather after few minutes, or it takes lot of time to get the lather. So hardness of water can also be defined as the soap consuming capacity of water in giving the lather when water is mixed with soap. We can say that higher the consumption of soap, higher will be the hardness of water. We all know that soap is sodium or potassium salt of higher fatty acid, and when hard water is mixed, then it forms insoluble calcium or magnesium stearate, which is useless white scum having zero or no detergent value. The consumption of soap is well explained with the help of following reaction, where sodium stearate, when reacts with calcium carbonate, a hardness causing salt present in the water, it forms the calcium stearate, which is a white scum useless soap. So we can say that the hardness of water is directly proportional to the concentration of hardness causing salts present in the water. Hardness of water may have moderate health benefit. We know that we used to drink mineral water, a water containing some required minerals for the better metabolism of the human body. But the hard water can pose very critical problems when it is used in industries, where hardness may cause costly breakdowns in boilers of the industries, cooling towers, and other equipments that handles the water. Hard water built up scale inside the water supply pipes, restricting the water flow. The problems generally we face with the hard water. Then we come to the types of hardness. The hardness of water is categorized as temporary hardness and permanent hardness depending upon the nature of salt dissolved in water. First we take the temporary hardness. Hardness of water is temporary when bicarbonates of calcium, magnesium, iron, aluminium, manganese, etc. are soluble in water and also known as carbonate hardness. This temporary hardness is simply removed by boiling the hard water. When water boils, the soluble bicarbonate decomposes to give insoluble precipitate of calcium carbonate or magnesium hydroxide. It is explained in the following reactions. Calcium bicarbonate, when it is boiled, it is converted into insoluble calcium carbonate by evolving carbon dioxide in air and water, while Magnesium bicarbonate, when it boils, it is converted into insoluble precipitate of magnesium hydroxide, and the carbon dioxide is evolved in air. The permanent hardness, when chlorides or sulfates of calcium, magnesium, iron, aluminum, manganese, etc. are soluble in water, the hardness is called permanent hardness and also known as non-carbonate hardness. Permanent hardness of water can be removed by using following water softening methods: lime soda softening method, zeolite softening method, deionization softening method. Out of these three, the deionization is the best method for the softening of water, and the water softened by deionization methods are commonly used in boilers to get steam. Now, how to express the hardness of water? We all know that hardness in water is because of the soluble salts of calcium, magnesium and other ions in the form of bicarbonates, chlorides, sulfates. Means hardness is not because of any single soluble salt. So to express the hardness, generally we express it in terms of calcium carbonate, because calcium carbonate is preferably most stable compound among all the hardness causing ions. Therefore, to express the hardness, we have to convert the concentration of hardness causing salts, whether it is because of calcium chloride, calcium bicarbonate, magnesium sulfate, etc. The equivalent concentration of these hardness causing ions, salts, in terms of calcium carbonate. The formula is being used to convert the concentration of hardness causing salt equivalent to calcium carbonate is as follows. Any hardness causing salt, when we are converting it to its equivalent as CaCO3, we have to divide the concentration of hardness causing salt given by its molecular weight, which is further multiplied with 100, that is the molecular weight of the calcium carbonate. So hardness of water is expressed as calcium carbonate. Now various units are being used to express the hardness. The milligram per liter, parts per million are the common units used in our country. Milligram per liter is the number of milligram of hardness causing salt equivalent in terms of calcium carbonate present in 1 liter of water. While parts per million, it is the parts of hardness causing salt equivalent in terms of calcium carbonate present in million, that is 10 raised to power 6 parts of water. This milligram per liter or parts per million, both are same, because milligram of hardness causing salt in 1 liter is a part in million part of water. Third is degree French. It is the number of parts of hardness causing salts equivalent in terms of calcium carbonate present in 10 raised to power 5 parts of water. The fourth 1 is the degree Clark. It is the number of grains of hardness causing salts equivalent in terms of calcium carbonate present in 1 gallon, that is 70,000 grains of water. These 4 units are related to each other. 1 milligram per liter is equal to 1 ppm, that I already explained, they both are same. It is equal to 0.1 degree French, which is equal to 0.07 degree Clark. So these 4 units are generally used to express the. Now we come to the determination of hardness of water. Before we start with the complexometric EDTA method, there is one more method to determine the hardness of water, that is the soap titration method, in which we are using the soap in the soap solution in the burette and taking the known volume of the hard water, we add the soap solution drop by drop, and when it's getting lather stable for at least 2 minutes, that marks the end point of the titration, and the consumption of soap solution is used to calculate the hardness of the water. But as per the syllabus, the complexometric EDTA method is there. This complexometric EDTA method is supposed to be the most accurate method of water hardness determination. In this method, EDTA, that is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, along with EBT, which is called Arichrome black tea indicator, is used. We all know that EDTA is a strong chelating agent which forms strong stable complexes with hardness causing calcium and magnesium ion present in water. While EBT acts as indicator, it also forms the complex, but the complex is of weak nature with the calcium and magnesium. This EDTA and the EBT both are represented as follows. This is the structure of the EDTA and followed by the structure of the indicator EBT. This EBT has the IUPAC nomenclature as sodium 1,1 hydroxyl 2 naphthalazole 6 nitro 2 naphthol 4 sulfonate, and in short it is being used as Arichrome black tea indicator in the titration. The EDTA forms the stable complex, EBT forms the weak complex with calcium and magnesium. The reactions are possible only when the pH of the medium is alkaline. Therefore, we use ammonia buffer in the complexometric titration to maintain the pH of the medium at around 10 so that proper reactions of EDTA and indicator EBT takes place. In the first reaction, calcium or magnesium ions which are present in the water, they react with EDTA and we get the strong stable complex of EDTA. This second reaction explains the formation of weak complex with the indicator. The principle of the complexometric titration is that when ammonia buffer is added to the known quantity of hard water sample, to which we first add the Arichrome black tea indicator, the V complex first forms and it results in the formation of wine red color. The reaction is as follows. Here the V complex of EBT is formed and the natural blue color of the indicator is converted into wine red color. Further, after the formation of this V complex, when we start adding the standard EDTA solution from the burette, the V complex of hardness causing calcium magnesium ions and EBT indicator is first braked and a strong complex between the hardness causing ions and EDTA is formed. At the end point of the titration, all the V complexes of EBT, when they are converted into strong complexes of EDTA, the color of the medium changes to blue. The color of free EBT indicator as explained in the reaction. This reaction clearly describes how the V complex of EDT indicator is converted into a strong complex of EDTA and the EBT is left and the color of the medium is blue. Is as follows. V1 are the volumes of hard water sample taken and the V2 is calculated as a congruent final reading of the actual volume of EDTA used. The calculation, a very common formula N1 V1 N2 V2, where V1 V2 are the volumes of hard water and the EDTA. N2 is the normality of the EDTA solution, and with this we can calculate the strength of hardness in hard water as N1. This strength of hardness is converted into gram per liter equivalent as CuCO3 by this step, and finally the hardness of these hard water as calcium carbonate in ppm or in milligram per liter is calculated as this step. Finally, the result of the calculation. On the basis of the analysis results of the hardness of water sample, water is generally categorized as soft water when the hardness of the water as CaCO3 is in between 0 to 75. It is categorized as medium hard water when the hardness varies from 75 to 150 milligram per liter. Water is categorized as hard water when it varies from 150 to 300 milligram per liter, and the water is a very hard water when it is more than 300 milligram per liter. So this is all about the hardness of water. We have discussed about the hardness of water, how water becomes hard, how to express the hard water, units to express the hard water, and the method for the determination of hard water. I hope this session is useful for you. Thank you very much.